Are you totally different when it comes to sex and copulation? Have you judged yourself out of receiving pleasure? Have you judged yourself into receiving pleasure in certain ways and excluded other ways? Would you like to know more about what else is possible with bodies? Would you like to create confidence in the bedroom and beyond? How has your sex life or lack of it affected other areas of your life? Everyone has the potency to be a sexual superhero. Get ready to listen, sense, and play with the sexualness that is you. Now, here's the host of The Pleasure Zone, pleasure diva and body whisperer, Milica Jelenic.
Hello, good evening, pleasure seekers. Welcome to The Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and you are just about to walk in on some very interesting conversation tonight with me. Me and myself and I are going to have a conversation about how to convert lust into cash. So that's pretty fun. And my lover husband, Mike, just before I went on this evening, was like, so what's your show topic tonight? And he doesn't hardly ever ask me that anymore. He's just like, oh yeah, you have a show. I forgot. I think it's been 4 years. How do you forget? But apparently it's forgettable. So today I was saying to him that the topic is how to convert lust into cash. And he's like, oh. I said, yes. I actually have a friend who she's been playing with this tool because she was a bit stressed, and she played with it for about 2 weeks now. And we just kind of did a walkthrough with her, and she was saying that it was really helping her a lot. So won't be naming names, but I am going to be talking about some of the tips and tools that I gave her so that she could get, she had a lot of lust going on for someone, and it was actually distracting her from creating the life she would like. So we're looking at how you can convert all those energies into something else, maybe money. And then there's also sometimes where, how do you do the reverse? You got lots of money. How do you convert it into love? Well, a lot of people have just decided you can buy love, so I'll just buy presents for somebody and take them on this and take them on that and charm my way through them with money. It's a little different. I'm actually talking about the energetics of it. So although, I may talk about like the real how people do actually convert lust into cash, like the porn industry, for example, converts the idea of and the energies of lust and the fact that we have lust. In our natures, we actually have lust. It's kind of what drives us. So what is lust, right? Like we're talking about this concept of converting lust into cash. It would be helpful to know what the heck lust is. So lust, according to etymology, and again, a friend of mine reminded me that etymology is great because it's just a way of saying that you believe that a word is created for and to mean a certain thing. But if you went out and created your own words, you could say they mean whatever you want them to mean. You can be your own etymologist. So, yes, I like his version of etymology is it's only valid if you actually believe the meaning of it. So lust is lust, according to etymology online, though. We'll go with this from the 12th century, is to wish or desire eagerly. It's from an older English word. Well, it's also, according to one of my friends on Facebook, she was talking about how lust is also a German word. And lust in German that's true. It comes from Anglo-Saxons, and the Dutch have that word, and Germans use the word lust, and Old Norse use the word lust. So that is actually a word used to describe both, again, desire, appetite, inclination, pleasure, and sensuous appetite. So how do you convert your pleasure into money? How do you convert your desire into money? How do you convert your appetite into money? How do you convert your inclinations into money? So all of those things are what we're talking about tonight. So when you think about lust, a lot of times we think about lust as the desire for somebody else's body or the desire to be around somebody else or in their presence. And that's not all that we're talking about here. So the desire to be around somebody's presence can also be an attraction. There could be a pheromone thing going on where your pheromones are interacting with their pheromones, and it's a physiological response to another person. There can be an energetic response. You could have had multiple lifetimes where you feel this reaction energetically, like you're being pulled, magnetized to them. There can be a lot of different factors that would have you have the feeling that you might be lusting after somebody, desiring them. And a lot of people often confuse love and lust. There's a huge confusion between what is love and what is lust. And there are so many meanings in the world about what love is. But if we get down to breaking it down to some real basics, if we look at love as the energy that actually is, if we look at the big word love instead of like the word where we have lots of meaning attached to it, if we look at love in the way that maybe I look at love, which is where you have gratitude for somebody, we're also looking at love. It doesn't have to be a sexual response. It doesn't have to be there doesn't have to be a physiological reaction that's going on in your body. So when we're looking at what is the difference between love and lust is more of like the desire for something, whether it's, to have that person's body and to be, having erotic pleasures with their body, or lust is also something that has, it's like a flame that burns out. So we'll keep it really simple. Lust is like a flame that burns out. And lust is what we require initially, usually, to actually be attracted to somebody. There's an element of lust that gets us there, gets us in the game, and then we need something to sustain it. And that's where gratitude and love come in. So if you can actually sustain a relationship past the lust phase, you're actually working in more like the love-gratitude phase is what I would say. So lust in itself, like I was saying, is like that flame that burns out. But that's an intense energy. That initial energy to get a fire going can be really, really strong, really intense. Even like a little tiny ember, even though it looks really small and sort of harmless, if it gets in the right area, it can create havoc. There was actually some havoc created in Ontario this past weekend, or I could be telling you false news because I don't actually watch the news. I just get news passed on to me. And the news was that there had been a whole bunch of cars that had gone completely on fire, sitting in a field. They were just parked. The grass was really dry, so there may have been an ember or a spark from a vehicle, or possibly from like cigarettes or something that caused a spark, or the dryness itself that caused the grass to go on fire, but it also exploded many cars. And it's that one little tiny spark. It can become explosive. It can become almost dangerous. But that's what lust is. It's that initial flame that goes. Now, sustaining it would be more like, letting that wildfire just keep going and going and going through and like just ravaging things. That's one way you could sustain it. You could also have it where you contain it in an area so that it's more, it's not running like a wildfire. So that's another way you could perceive love, where you actually contain it and you maintain it, and then you feed it, and you feed it within a certain construct or a certain kind of box that you've created for, this is my relationship, this is my construct of my relationship, and I'm going to feed it with this amount of love to sustain the fires and the embers. Or you can have a more explosive relationship and you're just like, we got lust, let's let that fire go crazy. And then you just watch it go crazy. And the energy is so intense sometimes that when the energy of lust can be so intense that when it's not there, it can be like looking at the devastation after a massive fire. And you're looking out and you're like, whoa, that just ravaged like an entire forest. Maybe it was like a forest fire, for example. And so and then all you're doing is you're looking at maybe what you would perceive as devastation or loss or destruction. But in reality, even those like mega fires, those lust fires are creating something. So even those lust fires that look like they might have caused some destruction, always there's something that those fires spark growth with. So when you look at nature and how nature works with fires, is that, even those great wildfires, when sometimes right after they're done, a few, months or years later, they find that there are plants and creatures that are coming back to life that have been dormant, that actually required that amount of heat for the seeds to spark, for different fungi to grow, for different things, for different elements to come together in order for different life to show up. And so they can be a great gift to us as well. So whenever, if you have that sense of, oh my God, that was really intense, wow, and now I feel like the mega destruction, just look at it for a minute and just ask, okay, where's the growth in this? Where's the growth in this? Because sometimes we forget that there's something that's actually growing out of it, and all we see is like the flames and the destruction, and that everything looks like it's going down. So where's the growth? And if you were like an adventurer walking through like the forest of lust fires, you would probably start to notice little things popping up, tiny little flowers growing. The ground might even still be so hot that the heat itself affects your body just being around it. So that might do something for you too. So between the plants and the animals that would either leave or come back or whatever, there is a massive amount of change that can occur utilizing lust. It's a big energy. Like that ember, it might appear really small at first, but when you let that grow, it can be expansive and almost explosive. So what do you do with massive amounts of energy if the other person on the receiving end is not receiving it? You can keep putting out megatons of energy towards a person, and they've got walls up to receiving you. So when that occurs, if you've got mega tons of energy flowing out to a person, and they're not receiving you, your body will likely get really tired. Your body and being will likely get frustrated. There's a lot of things that will occur because really your body and being desire to be received. And when you're putting out megatons of energy and flowing lust, which is basically an energy of flow, and some people might find in some points that it actually is more like a push, depends on the approach, right? Some people can be very pushy with their lust. I've come across that in my life where I've been out and about, and I've had men get really pushy with me and demanding as if I owe them. I'm alive, so I owe them. I owe them some kind of attention or affection because, I don't know, I danced in a way that turned them on. I don't know. So it's whatever. But if you have a lot of that energy being pushed at you, your natural inclination might be to, either resist it, react to it. You might want to fight it. You might want to just stand out of the way of it. It's kind of the Tai Chi way of doing things. Is like, oh, all this lust is coming at you, and you just swoop to the side. The other thing you can do is put your barriers down, or just obliterate your barriers and start to receive that lust. And cool. So receiving lust from other people can actually be a mega gift. You can actually receive their lust and convert that to cash too. Just like you can receive the lust that you have for another person, and if they're not receiving you, if they've got the walls up to you, you can divert that energy and convert it to cash. You can actually convert it to anything. It's basically just an energy that is transmutable. All energies are transmutable. So I wonder in your life if there are any energies that you feel like you have a lot of. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's lust, maybe it's some other really intense energy. And if you feel like, holy, there's so much of it, what do I do with this? Where can you flow it? What can you put that energy into that will actually create greater for you? So I'm wondering if that's something that would be fun for you to sit in, hang out, and consider. consider those things. What is that for you? So let's just think about that for a few minutes. We're actually going to head to a commercial break. And I just want to remind you, you are listening to the Pleasure Zone on Inspired Choices Network here with me, Milica Jelenic, and I'll just hear from you guys. Will hear from me, and I hope to hear from you after this commercial break.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution, taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation by tuning in to the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. You'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for the Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255. That's TALK. Or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email at milicajelenic.com. Now back to the program.
Well, good evening, pleasure seekers. Welcome to the Pleasure Zone. Thanks for coming back after break with me, or if you're just joining it now, you might have missed the first bit, so please go back and listen. There's good information on what is lust, right? If we get clear on lust, then we can get clear on how to convert it. It's kind of like if you're going to a bank and you've got this unknown currency. You're like, look, I've got this currency. I don't even know where it comes from. Can't read the language. But you take it to the bank, and they discover that, hey, there is value in this currency, and we can give you something back for that. Basically, this is what we're doing with lust energy. It's like sometimes we don't even know what the heck that energy is. It's just really intense. Sometimes we're lusting after, whether it's in a relationship, we're lusting after something, or maybe we're lusting after our businesses to expand. We're lusting after, having certain things show up in our lives. Maybe, you could even be lusting after food. There are different things that we lust after constantly. Our bodies are like, whoa, they get a little like excited and turned on. Again, lust is something that will die out like an ember, but you can take that lust energy, you can convert it to cash, you can convert it to love, you can flow it into other things, you can convert it to trees growing if you like. So how do you do that, right? So one of the really simple ways is that you actually just gather up all this energy. You become aware of it. And when I mean you gather up the energy, like if you are somebody who is very physical and likes to do a lot of movement work, or you can literally start dancing. Put on some music, start dancing, use your arms, and gather it up. Gather it up like you are collecting pears and peaches. And if you've never picked pears and peaches, I'm sorry for that analogy, but I have picked pears and peaches, so that is what it would be like to me. You're gathering, arms are moving, they're putting it into a container. You can try and contain it, but usually this energy is really big. But again, you can take bits of this energy and convert it at a time. So where and how do you do that, right? So like I was saying, if you like movement, I'm going to give you one method for if you like movement. So if you do like movement, get up, get moving, get your body moving. And as you're doing it as a conscious movement exercise. So as your arms are moving, you can just ask, hey, universe, for all the movements I create, let the energy flow from whatever this is that I'm feeling, whether it's super amounts of lust or it could be super amounts of what you think might be anger. You just gather it all up, gather it all up, gather it all up. And then as you're moving, you can just keep that flow, like whatever your dance moves are, use them because that's your body speaking to you, and just follow the energy of that movement. And you can use that movement too once you've gathered it up. And then you can ask your body that as you move, that the movement will change the energy into whatever it is that you're asking for. So you can move again. Just keep that movement going. And it's really just a conscious thought, a conscious question in your mind. Hey, whatever this energy is, can we gather it up? Yeah, cool. And whatever this energy is, can we change it? Can we convert it? Basically, converting it just means that you're changing it into something else. So can we convert it? And if you get a great big hell yeah, gather it up and then just ask to start to convert it. And as you're moving, you can literally flow it. You might notice that your hands are like flowing out in one direction to another direction as your movement moves. You might actually notice that the energy is building and you might actually feel more energized rather than tired. You might actually notice that you are feeling a sense of freedom and space in your body. And really the idea is that you, at the end of converting your lust energy, is for you to have greater sense of ease and a greater sense of feeling like empowered in your body, and also that you have like a greater sense of confidence. So keep going, literally keep going until you feel more energized, more ease, more confident in your body and with what your creations are. If you're not confident and you're not feeling ease, you're not there yet. Just keep going. Because I know some of you be like, I tried it, it didn't work. Then just keep going. Keep going because you might have more to convert. Yeah, probably have more to convert. It's not maybe a 2-second thing, it might be, but it might be like a 20 minutes a day thing for a few weeks. It might be that you just bust open the music one day and that is what your body is asking to do. You just keep going until you've changed it. And if you truly are committed to consciousness and to having a conscious life and you're committed to creating change for you and the planet, then you will step into this. You will actually create change with it. If you're kind of half-assed about it, and you won't, and that's okay. That's just your choice. In this lifetime, not everybody is choosing to go full force consciousness. You don't have to. I'm just saying, if you want to, keep going until you get the change that you desire. And if your body does like that movement, utilize it, because the beauty of movement is not only is it like great for physical strength, but it's also something that changes the physiology in your body. So there are a lot of different things. When you have a lot of lust in your body will have certain hormones that are kicking in. And they're not always like happy hormones. They can actually quite easily change into like anger and rage and fear quite fast if you are feeling like rejection from the person or the object of your lust, or if the thing you desire is not showing up, then, it can easily lead to anger, frustration, fear, all these other things. So before you get to that point, gather it up, and convert it. Now, if you already are at the point where you are just like, what is she talking about? I'm already just so frustrated, it's so annoying. Well, cool. You've waited a few minutes longer to choose to convert it. That doesn't mean you can't. It just means maybe you're going to be converting it a little bit more, and flowing it out to more different things. And and your body, what I was saying before is that your body has now been holding on to that longer. So give your body a few minutes, at least half an hour, to actually let some stuff shift in there. Because as much as we can have these great thoughts of, I just changed that, sometimes our bodies need to catch up and go, wait a minute, I'm still on overdrive. I don't believe I'm flowing energy. I don't believe I'm feeling calm enough. I still feel anger. I still feel lusty. I'm still pent up and built up. So I'm saying keep going until your body actually has a sense that it has ease, because then is when the other physiological responses start to show up. When you start to have more all these different hormones that will actually calm your body down. They'll create more space. And when you have that calm, you have that space, you can create in a different way that isn't on overdrive, which lust can be a bit of an overdrive energy if it's been pent up and built up for a very long time. If you've been lusting after somebody for months or years or something, that energy can get really, really high, and it can be really exhausting if the other person is not receiving it. So if the other person doesn't want to receive it, who and what would like to receive it? And the beauty is, you might not even know who or what that is. You can just start gathering that energy and flowing it. And just as you're moving, just know like your movements are flowing that energy out. Whoever and whatever will receive it and will pick it up. And if it's something that you'd actually like to use as a creation for business or for bringing in more clients, you can use those movements as a method to start to pull energy to your business and then flow energy out to trickle the energies to everybody and everything that would contribute to your business or to your creation or whatever it is that you would like to pull energy to and pull people to and to create with and generate money with or generate financial ease with. So you're going to flow that energy out. You can use your movements for this and go, 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 go until your body has ease. So sometimes we do these things as kind of like a meditation. Pull energy to your, the sphere of energy, which is great, but some of us are movement oriented and we need to actually get up and groove in order for our bodies to get what we're actually doing so that our bodies can calm down enough to actually be the energy of receiving. You can sit there for a while and then you just get pissed off and frustrated. Nothing's changing. Nothing's moving. Yeah, well, our bodies are not changing and moving. We're sitting there and we're trying to concentrate really hard. So if you're a person who quiet meditation doesn't work for you, there are other ways to do this, right? So using movement as a method to actually get that. Maybe I will actually make a video about that in the next over the summer. So I'm just going to make a note on that, making a movie about movement to convert energies to whatever. And so, it's really like looking at what type of tool works for you to convert lust into cash. And there are more than just the movement methods. There are other ways to do it. So, if you're curious and you're wondering, well, what's another way? Because I hate movement. I just rather sit on a chair and be a lump on a log. Cool. You don't have to do movement. For some people, movement is very enjoyable and you get the change faster. So what other methods are there? We will talk about a couple more methods about how we can convert lust into cash. And I want to remind you guys before we head to break is that on 22nd Century Consciousness, I was interviewed by Christine McIver, and during that interview, I mentioned a fabulous package that I'm offering for only 197 Canadian dollars. You can actually be part of a 21-day sexual magicism class with me that's going to be on Zoom. So it'll be recorded. Recordings will go out. And along with that, there's going to be a whole year of once a month you'll be getting a video, and you'll also get a 1-hour session with me. That total to actually buy those separately is over $800. So I dare you to join that. And if you want more information on that, we do have links up in the 22nd Century Consciousness. So look for my interview there. You can also find it on my website. I believe I put it up on my website. And if you join my mailing list, I've been sending out emails about that as well. So, and it's on YouTube, right? So I would love to have you join in on that. If you'd like to know more, the 21 Days of Sexual Magicism is truly 21 days of so many tips and tools of how to use sexual energy to create different things, how to build your sexual energy, how to flow it, how to manipulate it, how to utilize it, how to generate and create with it. I love that class. I would take it even if I wasn't the facilitator of it. So join us for that. So if you'd like more tools, and you'd like to find out another tool, I'm just going to give you a little taster right now. I'll just talk about one more tool or so, maybe two, by the end of the show. We'll talk about another tool on how to convert lust into cash. But I'm going to make you guys wait, because we're actually going to be heading to a commercial break. I just want to remind you, you're listening to the Pleasure Zone here on Inspired Choices Network, and we are going to head to a commercial break, and I hope you keep listening.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution, taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation by tuning in to the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. You'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for the Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world, and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer, it's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255. That's TALK. Or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email at milicajelenic.com. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, Pleasure Seekers. You're listening to the Pleasure Zone here with me, Milica Jelenic, on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm really excited to be talking about this topic today because I've actually worked with a woman recently who found that this got her some really great results. And I thought, well, cool. Actually, I asked her, I'm like, hey, so I know that this was part of a private session, but I wondered if you mind if I did a radio show about this, because she kind of inspired some ideas. So pretty fun. So for those of you who, like to do more like meditations that are more like breathwork oriented, you're not really interested in movement, you're not really interested in visualizations, I've got a little breathwork one for you. So with this too, I just like you to set the energy. Basically, is that that you're going to, so what you're essentially doing with your breathing, when you're going to breathe in, we're going to start with like breathe in for 4, breathe out for 8, which is a pretty standard breath work kind of thing to do. And you can also, if you'd like to just add this in, is you can stick your tongue behind your front teeth and your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And that'll start to create like a circulating energy. So as we start to breathe, the energy will start to circulate. You're going to build it. So you're going to build the lust energy first. So I'm going to just take you guys through a little walkthrough on this. It may sound faster because I don't want to give pauses on radio for like 2 minutes while I notice the energy shift. So I'm just going to ask the energy to work in time with the show so that this might be fast forwarded. But when you guys listen to it, you can slow it down if you like, and you can take pause. So get yourself comfortable. You can sit in lotus position with your legs crossed. You can get yourself comfortable so that you notice that your spine is straight and that your pelvis is basically, you're going to notice that your pelvic, basically the bottom of pelvis, the opening of your pelvis, basically your butt, but actually even more open to that, like where the hip bones would open up. So you're going to notice, like, just notice your body and kind of rock forward so that you're sitting basically right on your, forgetting the names of things right now, but just so you're sitting forward, sitting up straight, and so you're rocked and your pelvis is rocked a little forward. You might even notice like your genitals feel like they're touching either the ground or the chair or the bed or whatever you're sitting on. So you're just going to rock gently forward so that you feel like your genitals connecting to and touching either the earth, the chair, or the bed or whatever. And that energy will start to build. It'll build lust. It'll build lust, and it may actually turn into orgasm. So that's not a bad thing, right? We're just going to let it build. So as you breathe in, you're going to gather all the energy of all the things that you are desiring, lusting after, whether it's a certain body, whether it's your business expanding, whether it's your love life expanding, your lover life expanding. So many things that we desire. Maybe it's more travel. And you're going to just notice that energy building, building, building. And you can use all of them. It doesn't just be one thing that you're lusting after. And you might notice that you are lusting a lot, and you might have even tried to push it down or avoid it. So it's okay. We're going to bring it up to the forefront. And as you breathe, so you're going to have the tongue at the roof of your mouth, just behind your teeth, and you're going to be sitting forward, pelvis forward, spine straight. When the energy is going to start to move, it's going to start to circulate from the top of your head through your body, and it's going to make like a circle around through your spine, up and down the front of your body. It's going to circulate, it's going to circulate, it's going to circulate. And your body might even start to feel a little joyful, a little happy. So let your body smile and keep breathing in for 4 and out for 8. And then in for 4 and out for 8. And allow that energy to build, and allow that energy to build, and keep building, gathering all the things that you're lusting after. Awesome. And that energy is a pretty big energy. So we can utilize it for so many things, and especially for those energies that you are noticing are not being received. Possibly it's a lust after another person, but they're not receiving it, or it's a lust after something in your business, but it hasn't been showing up. Where can we flow that energy that would have something show up with total ease? There are all kinds of things in the universe that are already created. We just haven't noticed them yet. We haven't opened our eyes to it because it wasn't what we were necessarily asking for in that 5 seconds. So we're looking for something else. So are you willing to look at the things that are willing to grow right now, right away, instantaneously, with total ease? And on your breath work, when you're breathing in for 4, out for 8, on your breath out, please flow. Just know that on your breath out, you are flowing energy to all of the things that would have the greatest ease at being created instantaneously. And keep flowing energy out, flowing energy out, flowing energy out. And then on your breath in, for 4, you're actually going to be pulling in energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. To actually receive from them their desire to find you, seek you, gift you money, gift you health, gift you whatever, whether it's the energies of the universe or whether it's people, all of that. It's one and the same. It's actually all connected. So breathing in for 4, you're pulling energy. Breathing out for 8, you're going to flow energy, and you're going to circulate that in your body. And as that lust energy builds, you might start to notice at some point the energy gets so big, so expansive, that it just becomes total space and total ease. So that's one way to do it. Just notice it. It's just a noticing with that. Breathing in, energy flows. Breathing in, energy is being pulled in. Breathing out, energy is being flowed out. And that just keeps circulating and flowing. And keep choosing that until you have ease in your body. And just notice all the places that just notice. It's not even like being a super visualizer. Just notice where the energy is going to. Just curious. Like, oh, cool. Look, energy just fluttered off. Oh, fun. And you are an infinite being. You will not run out of energy. This energy is being contributed by the universe, through you, through your body. This is not limited. This is never-ending energy. This is another way to actually build your energy so that you don't feel tired. So keep that energy circulating. Bring that smile in. Know that you are creating. Know that this energy that you're flowing out and pulling in is like the fertilizer, the sun, the rain, all of it. It's everything that's required for you to grow and to have what you desire. And so the breathing can be really easy. And as you breathe, as you're doing this consciously and asking for this to be created as an energy pull in and an energy flow out, then your life, as you're walking around in your everyday life, your breathing becomes an energy pull that will start to expand your everything. So you won't have to sit down and concentrate and think about pulling energy to a creation, to a certain thing. Your breathing, in essence, you have created it to become a energy flow. So you can have that become really, really easy in your life. Now, some people, the breath work is just annoying. So breathing in and out will just frustrate you. So I'm giving you a few methods. You can have movement, you could do breathing. And for some of you, you are visualizers of magnitude. And I totally respect that. And I have a tool for you visualizers of magnitude as well. I wouldn't want to leave you guys out. So I have a really fun, really simple tool for the visualizers of magnitude. It's actually going to be really easy. So guys, visualizers of magnitude, here is your visual meditation that you can do. It might only take 2 or 3 minutes. I'll walk you through it right now. So what you're going to do is sit down and get comfy, close your eyes. Notice your body, notice your feet, your knees, your butt, your arms, your legs, your head. Cool. You're fast. You're a visualizer. You can do this out of your head, into your body. Even hold your crotch if you need to get into your body for a minute, visualizers. Get into that body, and then you are going to go on an adventure. So get ready, pack your lust. And everything that you're lusting and desiring for, I want you to grab a giant trunk that is actually going to be totally weightless. It's like a Harry Potter trunk. It can even be a bag, like Hermione carries. And you can shove everything you want into this tiny little bag. Or it's a giant trunk, but it's totally weightless because it's magic. So put all of the things that you lust and desire into this trunk, into this little bag, whatever it is you like. And you're going to stuff it up, stuff it up, stuff it up, stuff it up. Keep filling it, because that's what this thing can never be totally full. And you just fill it with everything you can think of in this 10 seconds, because you're thinkers of magnitude. You're going to think of more things, so don't worry. You can do this more than once. Fill it all up, fill it all up, fill it all up, fill it all up, and then poof, right in front of you appears the cashier of the universe. The cashier, like at a bank, right? So it's like the bank teller of the universe shows up, appears in front of this absolutely magical booth. And you're taking in all your lusts and desires and you're converting into cash, my friends, or whatever else you would like to have with it. It's that simple. You're taking your energy, take it to the universe, and say, this is what I desire, universe. Here's all the energy I've gathered, and poof, I'd like to convert it. And guess what? Just like when you go to the bank, it's going to convert it. It's going to convert fast. So hand it all over, and then when the bank teller of the universe, whoever that is, it could be you, actually gives you back your conversion, hold on to it. Hold on to that energy. Notice it. It could be pretty big. It could be pretty awesome. I want you to step into it like a giant sphere. And that sphere is going to go in and it's going to wash into your body. It's going to it collapses, and all the energy of that sphere that was converted is actually going to every cell of your body and being, so that you are actually going to become that which you desire. And when you become that which you desire, you can have it with total ease. So remember, take all your desires, put them in your magical bag trunk, take it to the teller of the universe, the magical teller of the universe. They're going to convert it for you, gift you back what you desire, hold it in your hand. It turns into a giant sphere that you step into. It will melt and merge with every single cell of your body, and then step out of it. Notice your hands, your feet, your bum, your head, your shoulders. Cool. And when you're ready, open your eyes and check out your universe. What is your universe like once you have actually perceived that you have just converted everything you desire with the teller of the universe? Cool. I hope you guys really enjoyed those. So we actually have one more commercial break to go to, and we're going to do that in just a second. I just want to remind you guys you're listening to The Pleasure Zone here on Inspired Choices Network with me, your host, Milica Jelenic, and we have our last commercial break that we're heading into right now.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution, taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation by tuning in to the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. You'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here, and I would like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book known as Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who's always known that other possibilities should be available but haven't yet been able to see them be created? Well, I wrote this book for you. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. In it, you'll find an invitation to a different possibility for a way that we can be in this world that changes not only our lives, but by being us, allows us to contribute to changing everything planet-wide that doesn't work. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be one? Check out a copy of my new book, Being You, Changing the World. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com for a free gift.
This is The Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255. That's TALK. Or Canada, 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email at milicajelenic.com. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, sweet pleasure seekers. You're listening to The Pleasure Zone and myself, Milica Jelenic, here on Inspired Choices Network. And I wanted to let you guys know a little bit about something that is in the works right now, creation. And I don't have a link right yet to register, but coming in September, I've been invited to be part of a weekend workshop for women in Prince Edward County in Ontario. And the women's workshop will include things like yoga, different meditations, martial arts. I'm going to be doing body work. We're going to be talking about sex and sexualness. And there's going to be other things like aromatherapy going on. And we're going to be having a chef with us full-time, cooking breakfast, lunch, and supper for us, as well as there's going to be a wine tasting tour with a dinner at a wine tasting at a winery, and evening walks and strolls, and a great weekend for women. Oh, there's also going to be a paint your future night with lots of hors d'oeuvres, and that's I got to get my dates right on that, but it's the middle of September, and I think it's only $1,000 for like the whole weekend. And we have different options for shared accommodation or single accommodation. So if you want to know more about that, please message me because I'm super excited about that. And I will have links coming soon so that you'll be able to register. It is a VIP all-inclusive event, and we've only got room for 12 people, and we already have people signing up, even though we have nothing to sign up with yet. So there's a few spots left if you want to come. There's going to be 4 different people that are offering things, and I'm going to be one of them. I'm very excited about that. So I am very excited to let you guys know about it. And so what else do I have coming up? I got shows lined up for this next month, which I was pretty happy that the Pleasure Zone was yelling at me this week to get some shows lined up for you guys. And so I hope you're going to enjoy the upcoming topics coming this month. And if there are topics that you're curious about and you haven't heard me talk about on the other 191 episodes that I've done already, and you'd like me to talk about something, please feel free to mention it to me. Send me an email, personal, or through my website, www.milicajelenic.com. I love to get requests, and I love to have you guys on air with me, calling in with questions. I love having you in the chat room, so I welcome all of that, and I really, really love when I get emails from you guys and messages. It's wonderful to know that you're listening and that you are contributing and curious about what I'm creating. So I'm grateful for that. And what else do I have going on is a number of things. The hedonism weekend are still in the works. Again, it's about location. So it might actually be coming more in a winter time. So I'm now looking at different things like saunas and such for the event. But do keep in mind, if that's something you're interested in, please just send me a note, and that way I can put you on the naughty list so that you can receive information about that. The naughty list is growing, and the naughty list on my website is going to actually have content up hopefully by the end of July. I'm working on lots of content for you guys. So I want to thank you guys for being amazing listeners, amazing contributors to this show. If this is your first show or if it's your 191st show that you've listened to, I'm really grateful for all of you and your contributions. And I really hope to hear from you and have you listening in next week. And I go live again. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful, pleasurable week. Stay tuned in and turned on.
Thank you for choosing to listen to The Pleasure Zone. Milica Jelenic will return next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.